Right now, the world is moving away from physical money faster than anyone predicted. In 2023 alone, digital wallets processed a staggering $14 trillion. And today, 85% of all global transactions happen without a single banknote changing hands. We've been told that a cashless future is efficient, modern, and inevitable. But an uncomfortable question is starting to emerge. What happens if the system simply stops working? In November 2024, the most cashless nation on Earth, Sweden, sent a warning to every single household. The government didn't tell people to download a new app. They told them to stockpile paper money. Why is the world's digital pioneer suddenly terrified of a cashless future? Today, we are looking at the real reasons why countries are stepping back from the digital ledge. From the threat of total system blackouts to the terrifying power of financial lockdowns. To understand where we are going, we have to look at Sweden. For years, it was the poster child for the cashless movement. Between 2010 and today, cash transactions in Sweden collapsed from 40% to just 8 or 10%. By 2016, more than half of all bank branches had stopped handling physical money entirely. It seemed like the perfect model of efficiency. But then, the reality of the modern world hit home. In late 2024, the Swedish government issued a brochure titled, "If Crisis or War Comes." It explicitly advised citizens to keep at least a week's worth of cash at home in different denominations. Erik Thedéen, the head of Sweden's central bank, has become a leading voice for this reversal. He warns that if everything breaks down, the nation needs cash to survive. He is now pushing for legislation that would force supermarkets, pharmacies, and petrol stations to accept physical money by law. Sweden learned the hard way. Digital systems are incredibly fragile. The primary fear isn't just a slow app, it's a total system failure. We saw this in 2024 when a single software update from a company called CrowdStrike caused the largest IT outage in history, disrupting banks and payment systems globally. Then there are the power failures. In June 2025, a nationwide blackout in Spain knocked out all digital payments for 10 hours. But for a true look at the stakes, we look at Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. The island suffered a 328-day blackout, the longest in American history. During that time, only 25% of ATMs worked, and while stores could open their doors, they couldn't process cards. As one resident put it, they were without gasoline, food, or money. In those moments, cash isn't just handy, it is a literal lifeline, because it doesn't need electricity, a network connection, or permission from a server to work. Beyond technical failures, there's a more chilling concern: control. In a cashless society, every transaction requires permission from a bank or a central authority. This isn't just a theory. We saw it happen in Canada in February 2022. During the trucker convoy protests, the Canadian government used the Emergencies Act to freeze at least 76 bank accounts containing over $3.2 million without a court order. While a federal court later ruled this action was unlawful, the damage was done. It proved that in a digital-only world, the government can effectively delete your ability to buy food or fuel with the click of a button. As author Brett Scott argues, a cashless society is a world where you must ask your bank for permission to pay. We also have to consider who gets left behind. Globally, 1.44 billion adults are completely unbanked. In the United States, 5.6 million households have no bank account, with minority communities being disproportionately affected. When a society goes fully digital, the most vulnerable people are pushed into what researchers call isolated cash bubbles. In Sweden, a dark market emerged where smartphone users actually charge homeless people extra fees just to make digital payments on their behalf. As one researcher observed, it is expensive to be digitally poor. Furthermore, for survivors of domestic violence, cash is often the only way to escape, as digital trails can be monitored by abusers. Some governments have tried to force this change, usually with disastrous results. In 2016, India's government suddenly declared that 86% of the currency in circulation was no longer legal tender. The goal was to stop black money, but it resulted in 1.5 million lost jobs and a crippled economy. Nigeria tried something similar in 2023, leading to violent protests and a total collapse of trade in rural areas. However, there's a major paradox in the data. Even though we use digital payments more for our morning coffee, the amount of cash in circulation is actually growing in most countries. In the U.S., there's over $2.3 trillion in physical currency circulating right now, an increase of $43 billion in just 1 year. People aren't necessarily using cash for every transaction, but they are holding on to it just in case. We are likely moving towards a less cash society rather than a cashless one. Digital payments are convenient, but physical money remains the ultimate backup plan for when the power goes out, the servers crash, or a government overreaches. As Sweden has shown us, the value of having a physical safety net is clear, because at the end of the day, when the hurricane hits or the grid fails, paper money is the only thing that doesn't need a password. Relying entirely on a cashless system is like living in a house where the front door only opens with a cloud-connected facial recognition scanner. It's incredibly convenient when your hands are full, until the internet goes down. Cash is the physical spare key you keep hidden in the garden. You might rarely use it, but without it, you're always one technical glitch away from being locked out of your own life.